Late. Retouch off. Jesus, I need a bit of help. It's been a long day, guys. When you start these at 6 p.m. To be fair, we were starting them at 7, weren't we? I don't know how we managed that.
Late, yeah. All right.
I don't know how we managed that.
Here we are.
Here we are, indeed. Hello, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
How are we?
Apologies for those of you that have been waiting for us and our tardy start times.
There's no excuse, really. We were pretty much in the same position, half an hour ago, finishing another interview. If you caught it on Instagram, it was a really good chat.
It was a really good chat. It's but nice. Usually these chats is what hypes us up, but we've done the hype up chat.
We're already in the zone. Like, guys, get on board right now. We're already here. What's the chat saying? I can see Peter. Oh, yeah, why are you late?
Here you go. I've got this chat down here as well if you at any point want to have a little glance.
Do you know what? I feel like I've got to the age where I need everything in huge letters so I can read it. I'm still like, I could put my glasses on and I'm still squinting and like... Writing is just too small on stuff now, and when I say that, I hear my mum.
That is the best, though, when you're wearing your glasses and you're looking for them, and then you think, oh, I just need it even bigger.
Phantom glasses syndrome. What on earth is that? Do you get this because you wear glasses?
What,
when you take
think
them
they're
off,
on?
And they still feel like they're on?
Yeah, and sometimes I'll go like this to push them up. And then
they feel like they're falling down. What is that? Crazy. The brain.
The brain is crazy. It's like, it's so clever and so primitive at the same time. I've got so much respect, but so much like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah, it's both the most magical and the most poorly designed thing. I mean, humans in general, right? I was talking to, it was Dane actually, about just how much humans are prone to suffering, and we break so easily. Like, animals hurt themselves, they get on with it, they don't moan, they don't like... It's so strange. We're like thinking about the possibility of being hurt, and it's enough for us to be like...
That's the thing, we live there. We live in the pain where it's...
disappear after.
Yeah, and it's like, but that happened 2 weeks ago. And like...
But that happened 11 years ago.
I saw like a take on it. I think it was like even an old monk wisdom thing or an old Buddhism wisdom thing, and it was talking about if you get bit by a snake, you don't run around trying to find out why it did it. You focus on curing yourself from the poison. And it's like so true. Like, somebody hurts you and you're desperate to know, why did they do it? I need them to know how I feel. I need to tell them what they've done to me. But why? Just focus on healing and getting as far away from that snake as possible. Like, so chasing it around, asking for explanations.
In many ways, we would have been better off just sticking with our reptilian brains.
Where instinct.
It's just who lives, who dies. It's not going to be me.
That's the beauty, that we were given consciousness so that we can explore these fascinating depths to being human.
And what a fascinating depth to explore than tarot cards. Woo!
Are they scientific? I've been dying to know, Steph. So, like, is there any science-based backing to tarot cards? And can there possibly be? Is there any way to scientifically test them?
So, placebos have been used to study the use of them. And again, it's a very similar...
The placebo practitioner type thing, as in the practitioner doesn't know what they're doing, or
as in there is blind placebo trials where some people receive a tarot card from a tarot reader that portrays themselves as being so, and then the other group is from someone, a confederate that's making it up.
And they're probably related to both.
There is no difference really when it comes to no one can guess better than a professional, but a professional doesn't seem to be able to. But as we know, that's not necessarily the only way we can measure things. It's not the only way we can look at things. We also look at how beneficial they are. So when we looked at the placebos, not last week, was it the week before?
Yeah, well, last week we had a breakdown.
Oh, we went ahead last week. Sorry, guys. We realised it doesn't matter necessarily if it has strong scientific evidence, or if it has strong spiritual evidence. If it works for you.
Yeah, that's the point here, isn't it? It's like, A, if it works, and B, making sure those that might be a bit more vulnerable aren't being taken advantage of. It's getting that kind of balance right, where it's like, what is tarot, what is it used for, and how can you avoid getting scammed, kind of thing. How can you use it to your advantage, benefit?
Definitely. And I feel like the way that I guard myself, because I don't necessarily know enough about how to decipher who's real and who's not, it's just by getting my own cards and having a play with them.
And it didn't help that Steph was brought up with a dad that could he's a mentalist, as in he can do these like mind tricks where he could subconsciously plant a word into a conversation that then later on he'll guess what you're thinking, but he already implanted that. So I imagine that comes with a degree of skepticism when you then see people claiming.
Do you know what's weird though is my dad is an avid user of tarot cards.
Yeah.
So even with having the element where he knows how to be
trickery,
how to use mentalism, but in the same way he also utilizes these tools that he sees value in.
Yeah, so he's got a gift.
If you're listening, Dad, there you go. Gifted is definitely the way we describe you.
Well, it sounds like he's gifted enough to, to be able to use his intuition, regardless whether that's for his own kind of like entertainment,
definitely,
or whether that is for bringing messages forth.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if it's just a recipe of being a guy that clearly is neurodivergent, but that term wasn't about when we were younger children. But he doesn't have the clever with the numbers, clever with the writing kind of autism, ADHD. He has the reading, and I will learn about it. It will take me a while to read that book, but I will ingest it and be able to then use that knowledge.
And sounds like clever with the people skills.
Clever with people skills, but also very open-minded. So whereas my mum, bless her, would be like, what you're talking about, just get on with it. You don't need any pissing cards.
Black and white, logical.
Yeah, my dad would be like, no, let's have a look at the cards, draw a card, let's see what they say. And I don't know, I think it helps me be more.
I was going to say, I think that you're open-minded in that respect, though, even though you've got a healthy dose of skepticism. If I turned up with my cards, you certainly wouldn't be like, they're a load of shit, put them away. You'd be,
no.
You would have and that's what we try to encourage with this, is like, it's just about having an open mind. You can have differences in opinions, in beliefs, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but just keep that mind open.
Yeah, I feel like the same set of cards can have two different meanings to people, but still have the same amount of validity and
absolutely
use.
And that's the beauty of it. So last week was my last instalment of the craft series, and we covered tarot and oracle as the final topic.
Very cool.
And we did like a room reading where I just drew one card and we all picked out what we were seeing in that card, and then we did like individual ones. But the room one, the card I drew, I asked each person to tell me what they saw first, and everybody saw a different thing first. Like, I noticed that the main image looked like an octopus, even though it was a corn. Someone else noticed the blue in the background as though it was water. Someone else noticed the earthy colours. Someone else noticed the fiery colours. And I thought that is the beauty of it, that whatever you're instinctually drawn to is the message you needed to receive, or you were meant to pass on.
If you read any Carl Jung, this is literally what he talks about, the symbolism, like oldest psychological tool going.
Symbols.
Actually not, but a very well known that people, it's used in films all the time, is ink blots.
Yeah.
Psychotherapists will hold them up and get you to say, what are you associating? Yeah, what comes up for you? It will be something different for each one. Nothing is an incorrect answer, but it helps you to reflect. And that's exactly how I use these cards.
Yeah.
So I thought a really, fun thing to do today was to draw the cards. Give me because you've got your own understanding. You've got quite a more in depth, as far as I'm aware. You're giving workshops on this sort of thing.
But the thing is, I don't know it off by heart. So we were talking about this as well, that as a practitioner, sometimes you feel less of a practitioner than the person that knows what Three of Cups means off the top of their head. And that can put people off starting or feeling confident in giving readings and stuff. So I tend to go intuitively from the initial feeling of the card, but then I do refer to the book to get an understanding as to what the card might be telling me, and then try and kind of bring the two together.
I think I do exactly the same thing.
Yeah. So
I'm amazed at anyone that can really remember what these are. Like, I was just going to say, let's stick to the major arcana for this, so that They've got, I don't know, when it comes to a 5 of cups, how is that different to a 3 of cups? I don't know. There's some more cups. That's all I know.
I wonder if I've got a copy of the resources in that folder. I'll have a look. But just to give a kind of basic description, you've got oracle cards and you've got tarot cards.
Is angel cards a type of oracle card?
I think they are, yeah.
There you go. Asking the questions we all wanted. Hey Dane, hello Kat.
Oh yeah, here's my tarot stuff.
Pete says again, you need to flip your image as your hoodie words are wrong way round. It's distracted it. Right, I'm going to see if there's even...
See, when it on mine, when it saves it the right way round. There it is at the top, flip.
That's just going to use that camera.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I suppose...
Could I get any closer to the screen as I work?
That's the thing, we want to see what's going on that screen. I mean, we could flip it and turn it around and then just watch it on this screen.
Oh yeah, I suppose so.
Let's do that. Turn the whole thing.
I feel like it's going to be...
right, yeah, well, I'm going to watch on here so that we...
Are we like really far back now?
Oh, that's the trouble, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know whether it'll fit us both in, will it?
No, it will fit us in better a
okay.
bit.
Yeah, show all the absolute carnage.
See what it reveals.
So like this, yeah.
This is where you get to help be the producer.
We're just having a little experiment.
Oh, the concentrating face. Look at it back. Oh my god.
We look about right.
I feel like we're okay.
Excellent.
Yeah, and we fit in better. We're not just like
yeah.
sat on a knee over it.
So just going back to oracle or angel cards versus tarot, just so that we've done a little kind of informative little part before we get stuck in. Tarot are very structured. They are made up of the major arcana and the minor arcana cards. The major arcana cards represent big life events. The minor ones represent, daily things that are going on. Whereas angel cards can have any number really, from 20, 30 up to 60 cards. And they tend to be themed, but they don't tend to have the same kind of structure. So even though you get different styles of tarot, so these are all, oh no, that's oracle. These are both tarot.
She's got a whole shop.
And I've got loads. I've got so many sets. But yeah, even though they're both tarot, the artwork's very different. They still essentially hold the same kind of meanings.
I feel like that's a good thing though, right? People can, no matter what your taste is, there's going to be an oracle card or a tarot card that speaks to you.
Yeah.
I've seen ones that are like Stranger Things, Dungeons and Dragons.
My Labyrinth, David Bowie set that I got for...
I got at that witch festival
a
Jane Austen set, so it's like really old, it's beautiful. There was a card missing, so
that is a shame.
But they're so beautiful that I've kept them. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, and this is the thing: people quite often worry about the rules when it comes to cards. Should they be bought for you? Should you buy them yourself? Should they
Someone
be
else touch
handled?
them,
Yeah, all of these things. And I think the last few years we've seen the rules relax. People are very much more now intuitive practice. Go with what feels right for you. But I would still say look after your card deck as though it is something very dear to you, because I do believe they do carry their own energy. So don't just disregard them and don't kind of treat them like crap and then expect them to give you a meaningful reading. It's kind of a relationship that you have with them. You're hoping they're going to give you some guidance.
I find it really interesting that you talk about these rules, because I remember as a kid my dad's girlfriend would have her tarot cards out and she'd do me a reading or whatever, like a basic past, present and future, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm into this, do some more, and she'd be like, okay, I'll get you another, and she'd get me a plain, just cheap sort of deck.
Yeah.
And I imagine it's because of this, I don't know if she was protecting her cards or giving me a more accurate read with my own cards, or is it a mix of both?
Maybe, a bit of each.
So the way you think about it is, if I was to draw a card from your deck, that wouldn't taint your readings, as long as I was respectful with them.
Yeah, I mean... I very much I let anyone handle my cards, and then I'd always say to cleanse your cards.
And how do we cleanse cards? Because that doesn't mean wetting them, right?
No, it doesn't mean wetting them.
Don't ruin your cards.
So just going back to what you're saying, some people do different ways of doing the reading where they ask you to shuffle it and you to draw. Some people draw them themselves, whilst tuning into you, and then cleansing them. You can just tap the deck against something and tap the energy off them, which if they've not been handled by loads of other people, I'll just give it a good tap. But then you can cleanse using crystals, so like a selenite wand or something like that. You can cleanse using smoke, so the same way you would sage, smudge, palo santo, even just an incense stick, and just like wafting them through the smoke.
When you cleanse with crystals, because I know some people are like the very clear directions.
Yeah.
How are you using a crystal? Is it waved over it?
I tend to place it on it.
On top of it?
Yeah, I tend to put the like contact, because I feel like it's the vibration from the crystal that's going to cleanse it. But some people will put do a circle of crystals and put them in the middle of the circle. I very much think as well, it's about your intention going into that ritual. Because you can visually cleanse as well. You can imagine golden light, so it's that intention that you're bringing to shift that stagnant energy along. But also smoke, like sage smoke, has been proven to actually purify the air. So there is scientific basis for cleansing methods. But I think when it comes to your cards, it's as much about setting that intention that you are, cleansing these and you would like the energy to be reset. So I've actually got my cheat sheets here that I did as part of the craft series.
You're giving this away for free? Oh my God.
I am going to be uploading these to the shop because they're such beautiful resources that I think, anybody that does actually just want to download the pack and not work through them with me should be able to do that. But that's the major arcana
Very cool.
set out on there.
I love that these handouts are all... They're perfect for colouring in.
Yeah.
And that's how I learn. Like,
Yeah,
if I was
same.
to colour in one of them a day, I'd probably have a much better idea by the end of it.
That's like me, and that's why I did them this way, that they're all black and white. You can either leave them as they are, or you can add to them, or you can just colour them in. It's like totally up to you. But so in terms of like cards as well, playing cards, as in your normal suits, hearts, diamonds, clubs, and what one of them is spades. So that's why I've put them on there, so that if you've only got access to a pack of playing cards, you can still do a reading.
So that was how they were originally done, right?
Yeah, and also just through a bit of research, it looks like as well that tarot were first developed just as alternative playing cards. This idea of using them to read the future, and it certainly was popularized as a parlor game, as most things.
Okay, maybe like a Ouija board is. Like, as far as I'm aware, I don't want to. That's not a game. We don't sell that at Toys R Us, but they do.
Yeah, I mean, these are nowhere near as like dangerous. I feel with Ouija boards, you kind of can touch upon something that we don't fully understand. These for me are like horoscopes, kind of bespoke, personalized horoscopes. So you can get into the habit of shuffling your deck every day and just drawing a card for your for just a little bit of like guidance or whatever it is you're after. And like another thing that people worry about with tarot is, oh my God, it's going to predict something bad. And with tarot, there is more scope for challenging cards to come out. So if you are completely afraid of that, go with Oracle, because they are all supportive. But that being said, tarot cards aren't created to give bad messages. So for example, the card that everybody fears, any guesses what? Death. Yeah, of course. So there's a card called the Death card that everyone always says, oh, but what if I get the Death card? But that means the end of something, the start of something else, transformation. It's not a negative thing.
Not necessarily the death of a loved one or a person.
Yeah. It just means like something is coming to an end and something is going to come out of it.
I remember my dad and my stepmom saying the Hanged Man and the Tower are often ones that can be delivering news of instability and foolishness. So like you're not, or is that the Fool?
No, yeah, you're right.
This
Yeah.
idea of like you've been too carefree, you've not really been disciplined enough, like
Yeah.
But it's not in like a you will die in 7
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
It's like a warning. It's like
Yeah, it's like this
Sort your shit
morning,
out.
I pulled a card this morning. I just got an urge to pull one, and the card that I pulled was Storm. And it was like, there is a storm on its way, but as in prepare yourself that something might come up. But it's still, we're saying this will at the time feel negative, but in the long run clear space for something positive to come through. And
that is what a storm is, isn't
I was
it?
gonna say,
we
yeah.
use these metaphors because they're so
yeah,
powerful.
that is exactly right, isn't it? That feeling after the storm, it's everything's fresh and everything gets a growth spurt from what the storm's delivered, and that's basically what that card is saying.
And metaphorically as well, right? Something could be on its horizon, but once you've got over that,
Well, it even said it might be internal, that something's changing internally. And I am doing a lot of work on my internal beliefs, my self-sabotaging beliefs. And yesterday's full moon lunar eclipse was very much about that, releasing of those belief systems that have held you back, the belief systems that have come through generations, the real kind of stuck ones that we are here to hopefully break those cycles.
it only seems to be our generation that's bothered about it. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, it's like our generation that's woken up to all the hardships. Like, I'm going to heal them all. I'm going to heal every trauma.
That's why I argue we need to rebrand light workers, because it ain't light work.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
It's long work.
I quite
People like
often,
long work.
I quite often don't use the phrase in a caption light worker, because I worry that if people don't understand that light workers use like that, they're going to think I mean that I'm a light worker, as in
Rather
laser.
than the light.
Yeah, they're going to.
Like, this is light work.
Yeah, they're going to read it wrong, so I always end up avoiding it because I'm like, that's not how I mean it. But just coming back to the cards as well, you've got the symbology, but then you've got the numbers as well that can mean things.
So numerology is a huge part, right?
Yeah.
So much of spiritualism.
But this is why one card can have so many meanings, and also this is where the skeptics love jumping in, but it's like you will take the part that resonates with you. You will hear the message that you need to hear. So you and I could go for somebody could trick us, do a reading, deliver exactly the same reading to both of us, and then go, oh, well, it was the same reading, but you both got something out of it. It's like, yeah, but that's the point. We will take
So what does
away.
that mean?
Yeah, we will take away from that what we need to hear. So the thing that it means to me is that we already have the answers within. We already have all the knowledge and the intuition that we need. You don't need somebody else to do a card reading to tell you what you already know. But the trouble is, a lot of us have had our confidence in ourselves taken away for so long, and we have been naturally separated from our intuition. We seek externally for everything. It's like, look to the hierarchy, look for the person above you to tell you what to do. So you've been disconnected. So of course, the idea of somebody that's all knowing saying it's all going to be all right, it's going to be reassuring.
It's weird though, isn't it? Because I feel like that was the story of the moral of most Disney stories growing up. Like, it's in you. The whole time it was in you. Like,
And
the cliche.
Disney's probably programming us in so many ways, but that was a positive.
I think it happened so much that I was like, okay, that's like not going to happen. Like, I'm not going to marry a prince. And it was like, Disney should have been like, no, this bit's important.
Yeah, it's like with the Harry Potter series. The theme of the series is that there's always these battles between light and dark, good and bad, and that good, which is like friendships, connection, community, kindness, that those things will always triumph over the bad, because light is more powerful at the end of the day. Like, dark is destructive, but light, especially when we're pulled together, is ultimately stronger.
Again, with metaphors, what is in the dark cannot survive in the light. It's literally, you can't hide from the light.
Oh my God, Peter, you should design a set of cards. You should do that. I was going to suggest the same to Steph at some point, because, anybody can design their own set of cards. They just
I've
need
thought about it for so long. It's just one of them things where you're like, it's going to take so long.
And it would. And maybe that's what it should be, though, is like there's no finish point on it. It's something that you add to as and when you feel.
If you want to team up different true vibes and we can crack at it together.
That would be very cool. because there is a collab with the t-shirts, the Bus Difference slash t-shirts that we were going to talk about as well.
Very cool.
And then I'm not sure. Oh, what about tea leaves? All I could see there, Dane, I've got like the little heart, and it just says, "What about the leaves?" And I was like, I don't know. What about the leaves?
Love them, all of them. Great.
But yeah, tea leaves, very similar kind of deal in the sense that it is intuition based. So cards are fantastic when you're first starting out because there's so much detail. You know, you've got this, like, if you get one that's got, so you want to get one that's got a guidebook, really. I prefer the more detailed guidebooks because especially when you're first starting out, you want as much information as you can possibly get about the cards.
My dad's always said get ones that you actually can see what they are as well. Like, because if you're having to work, you want to be able to see that clearly says death. Ugh.
Yeah.
For example, many cards won't have the writing.
Yeah.
And you're kind of left to work out and I feel like it takes me out of it when I can't.
That's why I didn't bring the Labyrinth set, because although that's tarot, it uses, instead of using cups, wands, coins and swords, which is the most common, it's like it's represented them using themes from the film. So not only are you're trying to work out what the card physically is on top of, and I thought that's fine doing that personally, but it's no good for a display like this where we want to be able to, like, you know, explain it. But that is a good point, that, you know, the more you can take from the card itself, the more you're going to get out of the reading. But then you go through, so this is a divination tool, tools that allow us to connect to our intuition and to gain a message from the other side or wherever we think we're getting these messages from, are divination tools. And tea leaves, I would say, are that next stage of using your intuition, because there is some symbology. You are being given something to read. But we did tea leaf reading in week 5 or week 4 of the craft series, and it was a lot of fun. But you just have to use your intuition. I was going around intuitively telling the girls what theirs meant, but really I was reading their energy. I was just using that as a starting point. So if you're not so confident with that yet, you know what I mean? It's like, start with the more detail and then build up.
No, yeah, definitely.
And then you've got a pendulum, which, you know, swings yes, no, maybe.
I think we've brought it on here before.
Yeah, so that's really good. If you're still struggling to ask your intuition if it's a yes or a no, the pendulum's really good at connecting you to it, because you know, I've asked it in the past before, like, is my boyfriend, like, you know, good for me or whatever, and I know they're not. Why am I
asking the question?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's like, it is about developing your intuition alongside of these tools, you know.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
And that part is helpful, you know. If we can feel like we're making decisions that are coming from us, then that's going to be positive.
No, definitely. And that's I appreciate the explanation. What did you say?
Divination
Divination
tools. Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you see it. I see them as reflective tools. Again, it is doing the same equal thing to each other.
Yeah.
It's equally beneficial.
Because didn't you say something as well the other week when we're chatting about, like, there was something about it being pointless if the future can be changed anyway, or something like that. Do you remember? Does that ring bells?
No, I never remember anything else.
Maybe it was it might have been because we were talking about this idea of, is it destiny or is it free will?
Right, okay.
And I was saying, like, you know, things are kind of roughly planned out, but we also have free will. Like, you hope you're going to hit your destiny in this lifetime. You hope you're going to meet the markers you planned for yourself, but you've still got free will, and there's every risk and chance that you will avoid all the way through your lifetime and not hit any of your destiny markers. And I'm sure it came up in the conversation that, like, it can be hard for you to invest in the idea of a tarot reading, because what's the point if the future's not fixed anyway? What good is it?
Right, okay, yeah.
I'm not sure if I remembered that right.
No, I mean, I don't remember saying it. It sounds really smart. It's probably there's a good chance it wasn't. I'm just
but only because it's a good point. And the off the back of that, what I wanted to say is that from a reading, you don't always just gain what your future is going to hold, you know. So you can have a specific situation that you're struggling to deal with, like, you know, a family fallout or a work-based problem, like, should I change jobs, whatever. And you can use a tarot reading to give you some direction on that. And really, it's about just opening those perspectives that you perhaps hadn't thought of.
No, definitely. You might not know that these are comforting tools before you try them. The idea that I've had them before, I'm like, yeah, let's just see what happens. And I've literally just been half putting my effort into it, half watching TV and been like, hold on. And it's just that idea, I've been going through something, which is why I've picked the cards up in the first place.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work out, like, what do I do? How long is this going to last for? What do I do here? And just getting a simple message that seems to be like, you've been going through something hard, but you've been working at it. Right now, it feels like a bit of a stagnant moment. But in the future, there'll be a message like, you might have to accept life being different, but it will be
okay.
working out. And it's like, okay.
Just needed that bit of reassurance.
Yeah, cool. Where does that come from? Because no, it's not like someone has walked in the door and been like, I'm a professional at the future and I can tell you exactly it's going to happen. A part of me knows it's just a reflective tool, but at the same time, that does comfort me.
But that, again, I think comes down to that human need for it. You could have told yourself exactly the same as that, but it's that human need to see the proof. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's the placebo effect,
and it does
right?
reassure us. Seeing
Placebo
proof.
doesn't work without the fake pill or the fake thing. Do you know what I mean? You can't just... Yeah,
no, but it's lovely because, again, the message I want to get across is that just buy, if you're interested in these things, just buy a set and get to grips with them, because I definitely put it off for years thinking, yeah, but I need to learn them first. I need to earn my rights to have a set or whatever. I remember some older friends having tarot cards and me admiring them just because they'd got tarot cards. Like, I hadn't even understood that they didn't have any ability or experience reading them. It was like, I was like, oh my God, they're the chosen ones, you know. And then it was like, I saw my first set on a Skegness market table, you know, crystals and whatever. And I mean, this set
is a great place to find them, by the way.
Exactly.
Good
And this
prices.
set is battered as well, like totally battered. Some people say that you shouldn't buy them secondhand, but they called to me, and that is the point. Like,
when this whole thing is about connecting with people that were on this plane before and stuff, why would you not want ones that have previously been touched by people who have been going through stuff themselves,
Exactly,
trying to
like-
get answers from these cards?
Yeah,
they feel like the most powerful, no?
yeah, exactly. They've like imbued them with their beautiful energy. But yeah, like if you are thinking about getting a set, go in someplace like to a physical shop, a physical market where you can really look at them, touch them, you know, what colours are you drawn to, like the artwork, you know, for these, just love it. And like I picked those myself and I was bought these, so it's like,
There really are designs for everyone. I can't...
yeah, gorgeous. So shall we
I'm down, yeah. Should we start with I like these cards. They've always been very... these oracle cards, the sirens, they seem to be made up with famous women that have made, like, a difference in history. Is it this one?
I think so. Oh no.
Oh,
So
no,
you're-
what was that one?
Yeah, that was that book that I based a different story around, and that is women in
Oh.
history. But this lady, Lisa Lister, she writes the book Witch and Venus, which I very much recommend and I very much enjoyed. So I really like her as a voice in the industry, and she's obviously very feminine power based. I'm sure I don't need to explain what that is.
It's a lovely bit of bacon.
Weirdly, that card now showed itself to me when I first got the pack out, and even though I've shuffled them, it's still at the bottom. So you know,
That's hilarious.
so again, going to your rules, I usually just shuffle them whilst thinking about either my specific question or please give me some advice for my highest good. You want to be specific, because if you just say please give me some advice, then you know a demon could have a bit of fun with you and give you some really poor advice.
Gives you stuff you want and not what you need.
Yeah, so advice for my highest good.
Okay.
Try and be specific. Try and remember to do it.
Highest good, my highest good.
And then, like, when you're shuffling, if a card jumps out, some people will shuffle until a card jumps out. Like, I love watching those TikTok lives. They're like so aggressive with their shuffling. Like, how do they even do that? And then one flies out, and that's the message. But you know, so if one doesn't jump out, I just tend to still my mind. And again, that idea of it, the card is the correct card that I need to see. I think neurodivergent people can really struggle with making the wrong decision. Oh my God, I'm going to make the wrong decision. Spirituality definitely I enjoy that idea that you'll make the right decision at the right time because you've been destined to. So it really
That's
helped.
faith, right? That's
yeah,
just what that is.
it removed me from that decision paralysis, because even now, if I've got to make a decision, I'm like, you're going to make whatever decision's right, babe. That's what you do. You make the right decisions. But it's about that self-talk that you're going to make the right decision. You don't know if you're going to make the right decision or not, but if you're constantly fretting that you're not going to make the right decision, chances are you're going to find a reason as to why that decision wasn't right, and then feed into that feedback loop that you can't trust yourself.
That's what I mean. I feel like this process highlights stuff that's also going on. Like, what is the simple, like, pick a card, what one jumps out to you? Then for me as a therapist, I'd like to look at how different people approach this.
Yeah.
Like, what does it mean for a card to stand out to someone? For someone to then go, that tells me a lot about a person.
Yeah.
You struggle with making decisions.
Yeah.
You have it's a me. It's a me.
But this is the beauty about therapy and play and stuff like that, isn't it? So when I assess a child, I'm not just going on the results.
Questions.
Yeah, I'm going on everything about their presentation. You know, are they looking around the room while I'm talking to them? Are they even, like, there's certain assessments that we do where they have to give us answers that begin with the same letter, and there's a difference between the kids that just zone out and give up and the kids that are looking around the room for inspiration. Now, some people might be like, oh, they're cheating, but it's like, no, they're being resourceful. What I'm watching now is that they will mask by finding clues in their environment, you know, and it's like it's all part of the picture. Right, shall I draw one and you draw one, and we'll just kind of like...
Yeah, I'm down.
Do you want to shuffle your own and draw your own, or do you want me to fan it and you pick one?
Yeah, you fan it and pick one. I mean, I'll pick one.
Yeah. No, you confused me then. Like, you fan it and pick one. I was like, that wasn't an option. But
I said it and I thought I'd just said Fanny online. Now I really have. Oh, kind of looks like me, but with blue hair, blue eyes, brave.
Oh,
Be brave. I think that's quite funny. In her head, it's not just brave. It's a clip reminding her, be brave.
Look at what I drew.
It couldn't be more of a you card, I don't think.
Well, I've had this pack a while. I've never seen this card, ever. So I always find that fascinating as well, is that you can draw from the same deck for so long and still never
get the same one.
Yeah.
So yeah, my the way that I would use this card is what it's bringing up for me. What kind of questions is it making me? Like, is there something coming up that I'm scared of? Am I currently scared of something that I need to maybe put my big girl pants on and work out? Is there something I need to be resourceful about so that I don't have to be scared? Do I need to learn more about something so I'm not scared of something?
And then there's the aspect that what it's saying is this is who you are. You are making some very brave decisions. You are being brave and reflecting on those areas of your life where you're being brave and you're doing things differently to how you did them before. Because this lady looks quite content and she's got a sword, you know. It's like, I feel like it's congratulating you.
I kind of like it because I started playing World of Warcraft again and I'm already at level 29 and she's so brave.
Oh, there you go. And these are oracle cards as well, remember, so they will be way more supportive and like holding you. We'll read the book in a minute and see what it says. I feel like I'm very much drawn to the fact of this woman of two halves.
There is a very half to it.
And that very much relates to how I feel, where I'm always in battle with extremities. Like, I'm a pendulum that swings from one extreme to the other extreme. I never really kind of like balance out in the middle. But what I've found is duality is something that's important in this life. And I feel like my whole life is made up of duality. And even like, I love odd socks. I love wearing one earring different to the other. I feel like there's like an oddness there as well. But don't you feel like there's a similar theme, like in the sense that brave and tigress definitely brings up this idea that I've got to fight, I've got to be brave, I've got to be...
For someone who's stuck in a negative mindset that's maybe struggling to think of even the term brave when you're down, do you know what I mean? That word doesn't even come to mind when I'm depressed.
Kind of boosts you, doesn't it?
To be like, oh yeah, a tigress. Do you know what? Yeah. I am like a tiger. Well, I'm very sensitive, I'm very caring, I'm very protective of my friends, but also I can get pretty angry if you piss me off.
And this is the thing with spirituality. You can fall into this trap of feeling like, I'm spiritual now, I don't get angry. But actually, you're honouring who you are, and that includes being angry and having emotions. It's okay to have emotions rather than beating yourself up for having them.
No, definitely.
So we'll begin with brave. Brave is when, like Joan of Arc, you do the thing you were born to do, even though it might and probably does feel as if it
Joan
doesn't
of Arc.
fit the
See, I
belief.
knew this was famous.
Okay. So they are all based on people. That's cool. And probably does feel as if it doesn't fit the beliefs, expectations of others. In fact, especially if it doesn't. Brave is any time you heed your body wisdom, especially in a world that doesn't always value it. Brave is taking self-responsibility for your life lived experience. Brave is knowing when a bold move is in order. Yes, it always feel easier to stay in your comfort zone, but at what cost? Brave is speaking what's moving through you and knowing that it may not necessarily be what others want to hear. Brave is being able to say no without apology. Brave is trusting your heart. Brave is knowing when to take a risk, when to hold the line, when to turn your magic up, and when to turn it all the way down. Affirm it. I bravely choose myself always.
I love that.
Yeah, and then there's a heart rift prompt that says bravery is often thought of as daring to make a bold move. Joan of Arc is referred to as brave for fighting for what she believed in, yet in those current times the really bloody brave thing to do is to make the choice to rebel against the shoulds. Choose yourself and live in total alignment with your heart and belly. What would that look and feel like for you? Place a hand on your heart and declare, I'm brave. Repeat it a few times and let the words vibrate through your body. If there's any place where it doesn't feel true, where it feels sticky or uncomfortable to meet brave, say it again and again. Oh,
I'm very impressed that there is psychological
I am brave.
exercise at the end to
Yeah.
get you. Do you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
utilizes
There's
it.
there's like more depth than just, oh, you pulled a nice card.
Yeah, it's like, here's some affirmations, here's some like ways to really let this card sink in rather than just, oh yeah, that's a nice card. Oh yeah, that resonates. Cool.
Oh, I wonder if because then it says Inspiro. So is the Inspiro the picture? Because it says Jennifer, who, like Joan of Arc, a national heroine of France who led the French army into battle, trusts herself and her connection to divinity, which in these times really is bloody brave.
Oh, very cool.
So I'm not sure about,
What was her name, sorry?
Jennifer.
Jennifer. I love that.
Which
Okay.
was when I was growing up, I was obsessed with the name Jennifer and Jenny. Like, she was the character in all my stories.
I feel like 90s kids, just because Friends.
But then-
Not Friends, sorry, I can't remember what I was thinking of now.
Well, then when I found out later on that in witch trials, they often called witches that they didn't know their names Jennies. And I was like, I immediately felt like, oh my God, that's the connection.
Isn't it amazing that even back then we were attributing women's names to certain things? Like Becky
Yeah.
with the good hair was actually happening during the Salem witch trials. Like,
No, it's crazy. So,
tigress.
yeah, the tigress then. You know who you are, fierce and fabulous, just saying. And when you know that, you trust yourself and you
Why did I pull that one?
you become stronger and more powerful. Rawr.
No, I'm just glad it made you do that online.
Yes, you feel anger. Yes, you feel rage. How weird. You feel it all, but you're also able to practice patience, trust yourself and your body, and act from a place of bone deep wisdom and knowing. In the past, you may have reacted and lashed out, and that is still possible, by the way, and you're absolutely not to be fucked with. But now you know when to hold back and be still, and when to make your move. Affirm it. I trust myself to make the right move on my terms and in my own time. And then the heart rift prompt. The tigress is not to be messed with. She's measured. She trusts in her own timing, even when it feels completely out of sync with other people's, and she acts accordingly. She doesn't pander to the wants and expectations of others, not because she's stubborn, but because she's taken the time to read the situation fully and trust that any action she does or doesn't take is in complete alignment with her deepest wisdom. What would it feel like to embody the tigress, to trust yourself to make the right move in your own time? Which is, I feel like that embodies the things we've just been literally talking about, that's the spiritual destination that we're, you know, aiming to reach, is that knowing that we're not going to be perfect, we're not going to be without anger or without triggers. It's just knowing how to cope with those as and when they arise.
No, definitely.
So I think this is about the actual image. It says she's a throwback to my fave 50s pinup girl, Betty Page, and a nod to the strength, power, courage and ambition of the tigress that resides in us all.
I love that. That's really cool.
Thank you very much, cards. I always feel like I always have to thank whatever it is, the universe, the cards, the inspiration, because it's like, you know, you feel like you gain something from it. So they were the Oracle deck.
I love them. That's very cool.
I've always had some really empowering. So sometimes what I do is 3-card draw, and it's past, present, future with these,
Right,
and it's
okay.
like who I was, who I am, and who I'm becoming. And the first time I did that, they were so informed that it just blew my mind. And I didn't do it again for another, like, I don't know, 6 to 8 months. And when I did it again, I was like, how can it possibly do it again, if you know what I mean? I've already done it. But
it was Steph from the Afters.
yeah,
When she came to the bus and she pulled one of these cards, and I think she was a little more like, oh, I've never really done this before.
Yeah.
I don't really know what I'm doing. And when she pulled her card and she sat there reading
it gave her
the thing for it, and she was like, wow. I think she really like...
I'm sure she went on to buy a set. I'm sure she inboxed me asking. And that's the thing, innit? It's the beauty of these, is that it can just offer you that little bit of direction when you need it, even though you do know.
For some people, it's reading a verse in a Bible or some religious scripture that's supposed to provide strength or security or support.
It's funny you should say that. Sorry.
No, that was it.
Then. I guess I wish. Sometimes I don't give Steph like long enough for her pause. I jump in thinking she's finished, but she's not.
I like any excuse to stop talking.
But yeah, when I was younger, my grandma, I've still got it somewhere, I'm just not sure where it is, but my grandma had this box and it had all these little scrolls rolled up all inside of it, and it came with a set of tweezers and you would just draw out a scroll. But they were all passages from the Bible. She was very religious, but I, as a youngster, came across it, and I suppose it was my first dipping my toe into this sorcery type thing, because I loved it. And I remember getting a lot of comfort from it as a young girl, having different problems, and I would ask it a question and I'd draw it, and it would always be a reassuring verse, and it was, you know, very similar thing.
You got me a book, was it 2 years ago?
Oh yeah, just full of answers.
Yeah, just like, if you were to, I was so confused when I first read it. It was just like, you open it and it's like 3 or 4 sentences for each. There's not even a title for each one. It's just, and I was like,
yeah, like, what is this?
okay. And then when I read what you do, you know, you flick through the book like you would shuffling a pack of cards, thinking about whatever it is you want to get guidance on.
Yeah.
Pick a page, go like this with your finger. And it's incredible how well it is like, oh, and that's really helpful. I needed that. And specifically,
this is the thing that gets me when it comes to the scientific value, is that, of course, you can easily, you know, like the points we've already made, that we could hear the same piece of advice and relate it and blah, blah, blah. And you know, but I've had so many experiences where I've helped somebody else, done a reading for them, whatever, and it's so on point for what they need when they need it, that you think, there is more to it, but what's the explanation?
That's my argument, is that things like projection theory, confirmation bias, law of attraction, they are just as magical as magic.
Yeah, that is the magic. Yeah. That is the magic.
They work so well that your brain, as we said at the start of this, is so crap at some stuff, but so amazing at other things. And it's like, if we could just utilize it to the best of our ability, we'd be fine. Absolutely fine.
Sorry, I just suddenly thought I'd better quickly check
we're even still online.
Yeah.
My phone could have turned off.
I'm having such a great time. So I'm just looking, and we've only got, it's like getting close to the end. So should we just draw a card for our viewers, if you know what I mean? Like a bit of advice for...
I mean, we just said, right, you could pull the same cards for the same... So this is what we're going to do. We're going to pull the same card for everyone here.
But all take what we need from it.
Yeah, and if you did get something from it, let us know. This is what we want to know about. This is the sort of stuff that...
And I have done this, like, there's a few podcasts that I listen to where they do a weekly card draw, and that's what the podcast will be around. And each time I trust that I have listened to that podcast for a reason at that point, and that what I'm about to hear is what I need to hear. And it does, even though I know there's thousands of other people listening at the same time, but like they're all getting their own thing from it.
No, definitely.
Right, I've shuffled. You can either split the deck or pick it. How would you like to pick?
I will split the deck. As
Yeah.
I put pick for my own, I will just simply...
I love the back of these cards, even how traditional the...
Guys, think of something you want guidance on. Think of an answer you
Yeah,
want.
is there something specific? Would you just like overall guidance? But we would like some guidance for the world right now, please.
Got it in your head? 3, 2, 1. I actually can't see what that is.
I want to see it. Oh, it's upside down.
Oh, so it's the reverse meaning, which is a thing, right? I feel like
Well-
we said that, but that's a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing, and reversals tend to be a negative. I'm like, and so when I first, like, it's
So
not a
I'm not
reversal.
marrying that guy. No.
So when I first was doing tarot, we had this conversation last week. How important is the reversal?
Okay.
So some people don't read reversals whatsoever, and it is just down to personal preference at the end of the day.
Well, you said last time, right? You there is dark side of stuff, but I just don't want to learn about it because I just don't.
Yeah, I suppose.
Ignorance
Yeah,
is bliss, right?
yeah, and but the reversals is usually a kind of whatever it's saying. It's the opposite. So what is it? A knave?
It is the Knight of Swords.
Oh, knight. So the knight in general usually refers to a... He's upside down still. Are we doing it upside down on purpose? The knight usually refers to a young male. This is saying young men under 35. Dynamic, adventurous, chivalrous, romantic, revolutionary, energy, creative movement and change, intensive, expansive, goal-orientated. That immediately reminds me of we've just spoken to a boxer.
I was about to say, how specific.
This
Under
is Collie,
30.
yeah. This is Cozza, but
Cos, you've come through, mate.
but I actually feel before reading the specific swords, and swords does represent bring your sword, we're ready to battle. You know, sometimes that can be, you know, we're ready to fight. That maybe this is the divine masculine young male that we're seeing come through up through the generations now that are in touch with themselves. This is the change the world needs, you know, is those everyone pulling together and starting to recognize vulnerability is masculinity, you know, rather than it being like a separate,
No, I
that's
like
a
that.
girl thing, you know.
What I would get from that, just
Yeah.
the reflections that it comes from me, is this idea of a saviour. Are you waiting for someone to come and
Nice.
help you from the things that are happening? Can you, again, I picked Brave, the one before, she was holding a sword.
Yeah, you need to
That
become the
connection
person.
alone. It's it's making me think like, do I feel brave enough? Do I feel strong enough to attack the things that I need to attack in life? Is it?
And they say, don't they, like she, instead of waiting for the hero, become the hero
Become
that
my
you
own
needed.
hero, which Cozza said earlier.
There you go. It's all tying in. So just to reiterate, swords themselves, swords represent the element of air. The element of air can represent ideas, thoughts, truth, wisdom, those kinds of things.
Is that why airhead is like a lack of thought?
I suppose, yeah, because your head's just full of air, but it's like you don't realise how much knowledge there is in the air. I don't mind being an airhead. But this is saying that swords could also be worry, illness, trouble, strife, the power of words, truth, fairness, objectivity, and boundaries. So let's see what that specific card is saying. Knight of Swords, dashing, brave, potent defender, expert, soldier, marksman, skillful, practiced, astute, attacking, starts the battles, courageous hero, prompt action, nips it in the bud. But then also with the upside down meaning can be then recklessness, impulsive errors, indiscretion.
That's probably right.
I feel like that represents the duality of where we're at now beautifully in terms of not just men, but I'm only saying men because we've drawn the male card, but as in we've got these two camps. You've got the kind of old values of like, oh yeah, you know, tough and just rushing
Traditional,
it. Yeah, let's
yeah.
just rush at things with swords out and like start a war, or let's try and avoid those outcomes and stop for a minute kind of thing, and that actually we can draw our wisdom through.
Can we talk?
Yeah, could we talk about that if there's a better way?
Could we just better off going our separate ways? Generally, there's every other option is better than fighting, right?
Yeah,
only
I
when
mean,
it comes to it.
yeah, and I think it's important to feel like you can protect yourself if you need to, but that's where those strong boundaries come in, right? It's like not everybody's going to respect your boundaries, so you need to feel confident enough to say, sorry, that's not how we do things around here. You know, that's okay, that's how you want
Not
to
in
do
this
things,
house.
but yeah, that's not what we do here.
I love that. So, does that resonate with you? Have you guys got anything about your lives that you're needing more boundaries for, that you need to congratulate yourself for having these boundaries, things that you're defending yourself,
Yeah,
attacking the things that need to be done?
How can you bring your sword through in a healthy way? You know, how can we come together as a community, you know, rather than getting caught into this idea of like it's him versus him and them versus them. It's like, no, we are one race.
Unless you're a dirty billionaire that's screwing the rest of us.
Exactly.
We are not the same.
Can I just point out, tomorrow is Book Day, National Book Day.
Is it really?
World Book Day. And our book, A Different Story, is available on Amazon. You have to type in A Different Story by Lindsay for now, just to get it to come up. But I'm sure in the long run, you won't need to put the Lindsay part on there.
Yeah, I'll add it to the description as well. I've been doing it and I forgot to do it to this one.
So please, you know, if you're going to buy a book in celebration, or if you just want to support us, we get £2 from every, or nearly £2 from every sale. So, you know, you get a lovely book out of it, filled with inspirational stories from a whole range of people that have done things to overcome their circumstances, and we get a little monetary donation to keep the platform going. So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, it is really appreciated. All your support is the support that we can then pass on to the people that we support. It all just gets handed down. So it's really appreciative. Everything that you can do for us, everything that you do for us, and continue to do for us. So thank you so much.
Yes, we love our little community.
Our little community. It's so sweet. Look at us all.
Hello. Shout out to everyone that's been in the chat.
Be brave, don't join a dungeon, 100%.
Oh, from England, I'm in Norfolk. Shout out. If you're still watching, please hit the like button if you haven't done so already.
Peter, all collabs are welcome. I'll design one card, you can do the rest.
He's funny, isn't it? Brilliant.
That's so funny.
But yeah, that's us, guys. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
That was really fun. I think we need to do more card draws.
Maybe at the end of each episode, we could draw a card as our message to leave you guys on. You know, a nice little kind of thing for the week.
Yeah, I mean, it's helped me. I like that. What I've just got from that. I think
Oh,
it's quite good.
boosted
It's like,
your
what?
spirits.
Yeah, I get to level 30 now.
Brilliant.
What, have you taken anything from this session, from the cards that you've drawn?
Yeah, totally. I feel validated, which I don't really seek as much. I used to be a very, you know, seeking external validation, and I feel like that card enabled me to celebrate and recognise that hard work that I have done to improve my confidence from within, because I do feel like I approach situations with a level head and with my own confidence in my timing and stuff. So very good for that. And I feel really hopeful, although there's so much crap going on in the world right now. I've actually been seeing so much positive news stories, like small on the ground little news stories, and I'm like, let's keep it going, like litter picking, community connections, like let's just keep that positivity going. That's how we can win the war overall.
Hannah the plumber for the Greens has beat Reform by 4,000 votes. It's incredible.
And then they're trying to say it was through cheating. So hopefully,
oh, I'm so shocked.
but let that be the lesson to you. You know that's not the response. That
the mental gymnastics. That's hilarious. Like they're calling Zach Polanski a grifter. Like, oh, everyone else but him. What are you on about? But yeah, we are more united as one. We are stronger as one, and the quicker we realise that.
Yes, definitely keep that positivity flowing. It's the only way we're going to kind of get through these darker times as they develop in front of us. But we are always here. You know, reach out on socials, drop us a comment, drop us an email. If you're feeling low, feeling down in the dumps, you know, 6 p.m. Wednesdays, we're here to brighten the midweek.
brightens our week.
Yeah, it's just selfish reasons, really.
No, definitely. But thank you very much, guys, and we will see you next week. Remember to be good to each other. And we
Yes.
love you very much.
Mwah, mwah. Let me do my news thing.
Get you shuffling, wait. do, 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 do.